Go.
Good evening and welcome to Bellow Field on the campus of Tufts University for the showdown everyone's been waiting 6 months for. It is the number 4 ranked Christopher Newport Captains and your 3rd ranked Tufts Jumbos. These two teams, both of which had their seasons cut short a year ago by the Salisbury Gulls, are looking for redemption this season, and their road to a nationals title starts right here, right now. We're going to hand it over to the public address for the national anthem. When we come back, we'll give you the starting lineup. Stay tuned.
As out this time, I'd like to ask everyone to please rise if able, remove your caps and face the flag as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
Welcome back here to JumboCast. I'm Ryan, alongside me for this one is Justin Loker. Obviously, these two teams, very talented, both made it to the Final Four, both brought back a lot of talent. Justin, who do you have your eye on today as players to watch?
I'm going to look at Alex Brendez, Andrew Cook, and Warner Cabanas. The first two, the leading scorers for the captains. Brendez with 16 goals, 11 assists in the captains' 5 victories so far this season. Cabanas on the season, 73.5% from the dot, 83 for 113, basically giving the captains 3 offensive possessions for every offensive possession that they allow their opponents.
That makes it a lot easier to win lacrosse games when you're getting 3 chances for every one you give up. And on the Jumbo side, who are you looking forward to seeing from the home team?
I'm going to look at the leading scorers from last year that are still on the team, obviously losing Tommy Swank, Brune, and Boyden. I'm going to look first at Charlie Tagliaferri last year on the season, 42 goals, 14 assists. Ragnari, 29 goals, 10 assists. And so far on the season, the two main face-off guys for the Jumbos being Parker Merrill and Salcedo. Parker Merrill last Saturday against the Connecticut College Camels, going 21 for 22 from the dot. I would not be surprised to see him out there taking the bulk of the face-offs for the Jumbos.
Yeah, Parker Merrill, an interesting story, was so dominant, over 70% from the dot as a freshman. Last year got surpassed by Mason Cohn, who was just so dominant, 73%, that he's playing D1, the first man off the starting as a Fogo for Syracuse. And Parker Merrill's right back to the form he was in freshman year when he was first team All-NESCAC. So this game, these are 2 of the top teams in all of D3 lacrosse. The guy, Dan Ariesta, at Inside Lacrosse said this was the one to watch tonight. And it's kind of easy to see why. There's the amount of talent. There are more than a dozen All-Americans on this field, and this one's going to be a great one.
I mean, for the Jumbos last year, they didn't lose a single game until that fated national championship game. But this will be a major test for the Jumbos. And if they can win this game, especially if they win it convincingly like they're so used to, I mean, that bodes very well for their prospects going forward.
Captains win the initial draw. Jumbos immediately going to bring a ride. Give it away. Shot, score! 5 seconds in, Jumbos take the lead.
And that goal being scored by Max Eddinghausen with 5 goals last Saturday against the Camels, already off 15 seconds into this game, putting the Jumbos up 1-0.
Yeah, and that is not something we expected. An easy face-off win for the Gulls, and the Jumbos just send the ride, force the early error, and it's 1-0 just like that. That one's still being fought for. Merrill's going to come up with it himself. Or excuse me, that was Salcedo. And the Jumbos will set up with Brooks Hauser. Swung around. Salcedo and Addinghausen playing a little pitch and catch. The Jumbos sub in some of their short sticks. Here is Charlie Tagliaferri, going to get his first touch of the day. And he's going to run. Gets his hands free, forced off it. Regnery, stop and go, gets a step. Has his eyes up, plays it to the X. Swung top, Tagliaferri. 35 to shoot. Tagliaferri. Good defense here from the captains. Around the Regnery screen. Try to get a shot, couldn't get his hands free. Timmons with 20. They're going to send on Kevin Christmas, try and use his height as an advantage. Running down the alley with 15 to shoot. To the X now. 10. Regnery going to have to create something. Going to shoot low, not on frame, and that'll go backed up by the Jumbos. 7 to shoot. And Jumbos wanted a reset, didn't get it. In front, shot. Hit the cage and corralled on the rebound by the captains. Good shot there by Tagliaferri. Just a better save by Zach Hanway.
The Jumbos having no trouble getting plenty of movement around the top of the edges of the attacking zone. Just not able to get a good shot on goal.
Jumbo's great ride, but an even better clear by Hamway to set up the captain's attack right from the start.
Just in the nick of time, too, on that clear attempt.
Yeah, they had half a second, if that. And now the captains will get going. Quickly coming here. Skip pass. Jumbo's going to double. That is Andrew Cook. Swung around here. Auslander. Jumbo's not letting any of the captain's stars get their hands free right now. 25 to shoot here for Christopher Newport. Cook. Spun back to the top. Shot from distance, hit off a helmet. Jumbos are going to grab that ground ball. Salcedo spins it forward, gets run over. Second one comes to the turf. No one can come up with it, and eventually the captains do all the way back by their own crease. And Justin, I got to ask, we saw it on that play, but how much do you think the rain is going to be a factor in this one?
I mean, I would expect it to be a lot harder to corral ground balls. So just instead of the already unusual bounces you see off this turf field on Bello, now with it being very slippery, I'd expect some trouble reading the bounces perhaps.
At the top for Auslander, great face dodge. Gets a step, gets a shot, save, Garzone.
And Garzone, a very key player for the Jumbos last year, 21-1 on the season with a .553 save percentage.
Yeah, that's an almost unheard of number in NESCAC lacrosse. Shot is in the back of the net. Sniped in there by A.J. Rosacker. He took advantage of the fact that this was wet turf, sent it low, and Garzone couldn't handle the bounce. Excuse me, that was Alex Brendez on it, who you had mentioned in the pregame. Getting an early start.
I did, and that's his 17th goal of the season already in just the early stages of Game 6.
Clean face-off win by Parker Merrill, but they're going to get a violation. They're going to say he clamped down there, and that'll allow the captains to go right into their settled offense. Or not, because the Jumbos, they don't care about conventions. They're going to bring the ride, knock the ball free. It's on the turf. And I think a push called on Frizzoli.
Frisoli with a valiant attempt to win the ball.
Yeah, I mean, great hustle play from Frisoli and Ethan O'Neill not to give up on that, just let the captains settle in. Unfortunately, they might be a little too amped up for this one.
Brendez being defended by Michael Ayers now.
Yeah, Michael Ayers, I mean, about as good as you can get from a long stick midi. Moved to the long pole spot. Cook goes down. Jumbo's going to go man down. We'll see if the captains can take advantage now. Free shot, score! Once again, it's Andrew Cook. Got his hands free in space and just sniped that over Garth Jones' right shoulder.
That being the 16th goal of the season for Andrew Cook.
And Justin, these teams might be very good defensively, but I would be remiss if I wasn't to expect at least 15 aside the way these offenses look right now.
I mean, we're less than 5 minutes and already 3 goals on the board. One of those, of course, being from Eddinghausen on the fluky play, but in the settled offense, so to speak, in regular non-freak plays, it's 2-0 captains right now.
It is. Jumbo's going to get their first real settled look of the day. Regnery here. And the Jumbo's going to bring on Sam Frisoli. Gets down the alley, looks to have a shot, forced off it. Trying to back down his man, using that strength. And to the back, looking for Eddinghausen from the X. Couldn't find him there, was Hauser. It'll be backed up by Regnery. Jack Regnery. Low shot. On net, saved there by Hamway. And quickly ahead come the captains.
Camarada with a great job using his speed, just getting that ball out of the defensive half and allowing the captains to set up their offense now with 65 to shoot.
Captain's going to get into that settled set here. Jackson Shaw had a teammate open, put the ball on the turf, but it was picked up nicely there by Danielle Shayton.
I mean, you had mentioned the rain perhaps affecting the ability to corral these balls, but it has had no effect on the energy level here at Bello, both from the benches and the action on the field.
Without question, Jackson Shaw, Jumbo's going to double him. Good help there on the slide from Panagopoulos. Shaw gets a step, trying to get a shot off, gets one off, and the cage was moved. We're going to see what they call here. They're going to say shot on frame will reset the shot clock to 60 for the captains. Little 1v1 here. Salcedo says, I don't think so. Captain's whipping the ball around. Got a man hung up, spin move inside, and crease violation.
Nevertheless, that ball hitting off the post. The captain's doing a great job getting interior penetration.
Yeah, brought a bit of a ride there, but Jumbo's able to give it to Charlie Tagliaferri, and he's going to run.
I am constantly impressed by the
what a
speed
dodge.
of
Tripped
lacrosse players.
up, shot, and
no call.
No call. Are you going to say he just tripped? It is very wet out here.
It certainly is. The baseball game earlier, I can't imagine that's still going on. Although it is a turf field, so you never know.
From the scoreboard, it looks like it.
I feel for the players out there.
The players out here do not mind in the slightest. These Jumbos are used to formidable weather against formidable opponents. Andrew Cook, spin dodge. He lost an edge just like Tagliaferri.
I'm thinking footing is going to be a serious factor in this game.
Yeah. Pass inside out. Little stop and go there. Screen. Trying to get it to Cook. Get it to Cook. Low shot. And save Garzone.
Flag coming.
Yeah, flag coming. Jumbo's going to go man up momentarily. We'll see if they take advantage. And then another hit laid out there by A.J. Rosacker. He saw that they were about to go man down and took a chance to take a cheap shot.
Now will be the first opportunity for the Jumbo's power play. So far this year, the captain's killing off power plays or killing off penalties at a 68% clip. I believe the Jumbos were at around an equivalent mark at around 31-ish% last year. We'll see what they can do with a minute with the extra man.
Yeah, they were 3 for 5 man up against Conn College on Saturday. Of course, captains pose a much stiffer defensive test. Jumbo's playing a little perimeter pitch and catch. Inside feed. Shot score! Great feed coming down Broadway. Will Emsing, the freshman, gets himself on the scoreboard. And that's what you can do when you have the man up. Move the ball around the perimeter. Get them watching the ball, and then a backdoor cut like the one Emsing made there, they can't pick up.
That being the first goal on the season for Emsing. Doing a great job, not taking much time to get that power play goal, tying this game at 2.
First career goal for Will Emsing. Parker Merrill, another face-off win. Going hard, gonna shoot, blocked by the body. That one's on the turf, and eventually corralled by Hemway. Jumbo's not gonna bring an aggressive ride here. Gonna hold up at midfield. And a clean clear there for the captains to Robbie Adams. Auslander against Del Cristo, the 2 All-Americans. Swung near side here, Brett Jackson. Auslander to the X. Trying to face dodge. Ball knocked free, but able to recover are the captains. The top here is Drew Miller. We haven't said his name much, but he has been quite a talent in his 4 years. 20 to shoot now for the captains.
Brenda's running all over the place as he's again working on Michael Ayers.
Yeah, Ayers using that long stick, just keeping him from getting any penetration. Low shot!
Save
Garzone. Good look there from the captains. Garzone just wasn't going to get beat short side. An easy clear from Panagopoulos. Jumbos will get into the settled set. Regnery comes hard, shoots! Save. Jumbo's able to get to the rebound, but then give it away. That one's back on the turf, and the Jumbos come up with it. Looking to transition. Hauser down low, feed. And finished with some authority. Celebrating that one is Jack Regnery. And that's what Regnery can do so well when he gets in that position. He has that Jack Boyden-esque ability to, no matter what you think he's going to do, he'll find another way to beat you.
And that is the 6th goal on the season, first of the day for Regnery, giving the Jumbos the lead right back.
Salcedo, with another face-off win. He's now 3 for 4 from the dot. After losing the first one, has not lost since. Regnery finds Eddinghausen, shot just wide. What a dime there by Regnery that was. Jumbo's going to bring on Kevin Christmas.
And Tagliaferri as well.
Hauser on it, on the X. Got a man hung up. We'll dump it off Regnery to the top, Tagliaferri. Stop and go, spin dodge, loses an edge again. Spins back, trying to get his hands free, can't. Good defense there from the captains.
So spin dodge is a little bit less advisable on a turf field like this tonight.
Timmons, face dodge, looked to feed a teammate, couldn't find one. Faces up, gonna try and Michigan it. Jump shot, blocked. Think a defender got a body to that. Given away again. Eddinghausen can't get the shot though, now does and scores.
And that's the second for Eddinghausen. The second one off of a turnover from the captain's defense, putting the Jumbos up 2 here. late in this first quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it looked as if they had done everything right, or able to get their bodies in front of the initial shot there from Lewis Timmons. But that's the second time you mentioned, Justin. They just simple mistakes on the clear when the Jumbos weren't even bringing a ride there.
In a game like this, with two of the top 4 teams in the country, you can't afford to make those mistakes. Those 2 goals could very well be the difference in this game.
That one is another mistake as a ground ball just given away. Stick went out. Frizzoli's from distance.
Ben Frizzoli, just with a head of steam, winding up, firing on Hanway, the goalkeeper, putting the Jumbos up 3.
Yeah, and I mean, that is once again an unforced error from the captains, as it looked as if they had won the draw cleanly. And then it was Brett Kelly who just lost the ball out of his stick. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, assume it must have been the water on this turf, but gave it away. And when you give opportunities like that to Ben Frizzoli, you're just asking to be scored upon. And
when any player gets a clean face-off win, is allowed to just sprint towards the opposing goal, it's a pretty good chance that that ball's going in.
Jumbo's going to bring a heavy ride here. See if the captains can get it out this time. Ryan Young calling something out here. They are able to clear, are the captains, as we go to under 3 minutes in the first quarter. In what has been a very entertaining start to this one.
Wouldn't have it any other way, Riley.
Absolutely not. Robbie Adams coming back on here for the captains. Jackson to the top here. And Cody Oslander. He's been their primary distributor so far. Trying to spin dodge on Rosario. Gets a step, gets through 2 and 3 and shoots. Kept behind the net, feet in front, is in. And referee's talking, they're going to count it. Could not tell you who put it in. Looked like it might have gone in off the back of one of the Jumbo's defenders.
Yeah, and just a sloppy play around Garzone's net. The captain's able to capitalize.
We'll see who they give that one to. They're going to give it to Brendez. I believe that's his second on the night.
Live stats giving me only his first, but
pretty sure the live stats are wrong, considering he's saying it's his first for the year.
That is a good point. He already coming into this game with already 16 goals.
I believe that is goal number 18 on the year for Alex Brendez, which would now make him the sole leading scorer for the captains. As the Jumbos win that draw and look to set up. Skip pass finds Regnery. Almost got his left hand free. Face dodge, and what's the call? I think they're going to give the timeout to Coach Dinolfo. They are. And that'll allow us to catch our breath. Justin, I mean, we thought that this was going to be physical. I don't know if we expected it to be this physical.
Both teams doing a great job showing some physicality, not being afraid to impose their physical will on the opponent. We saw the hit right in front of us, delivered to Tagliaferri, and now Regnery being hounded in the attacking zone, not being allowed to get anything off. Dinolfo was great with showing some awareness, calling the timeout, retaining possession for the Jumbos.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a lacrosse coach who's quite as good at bailing his attackmen out of turning the ball over by calling timeouts as Casey Dinolfo. He just has that uncanny ability that you would only have if you were a Tufts lacrosseman or another NESCAC lacrosseman like Coach Dinolfo was, in addition to playing football and basketball here, one of the only 3 sport athletes in the history of this program. Just a phenomenal coach, a phenomenal leader, and one who sets really high expectations for his program. Told his team this year, going in, anything short of a national title is a disappointment. On the other side, Mikey Thompson in his 9th year as a coach. He's another one who has a lot of experience. He played Lax at Virginia, a very talented program. For those of you who are Jumbos fans, you probably know that program well because it's where Jack Boynton is right now. So 2 coaches with a lot of first-hand experience, both of which who expect their teams to be in the Final Four, if not the national title game. And Justin, I'm not one to be a predictor, but call me crazy, I'd be willing to put good money that at least one of these teams is back of the link come May.
It certainly wouldn't surprise me, both of these teams getting oh so close, having their season ended by Salisbury in the Final Four.
Salisbury's the only team to beat either of these two teams in the last 22 months, which is just an incredible stat.
Well, that's going to change tonight, one way or the other.
It will, and whoever wins will have permanent bragging rights until these teams play again. Hauser sent that about 18 feet high.
The goal is not on the field hockey field. It's on this field right here.
Indeed, it's not on Wingen. Here Hauser is again. Fakes the pass, gets it right back. Playing a little pitch and catch with Regnery. Addinghausen to Regnery. Kelly skip pass. Hauser. To Christmas, couldn't find it. And that's going to be a cross check, I believe. Just a violation, so just a push.
As Christmas tries to avoid the official who called that foul.
And that is one of the downsides of being 6'6" like Kevin Christmas is. The slightest push, it's getting called.
We'll just say it was a coincidence that he nearly body checked the referee who called him for the foul.
Yeah, Kevin Christmas, such a talent offensively, but at the same time, he poses so many risks defensively, hence why the Jumbos bring him off as they go into the defensive half. About a tenth of a second difference, shot clock Gamecock. We'll see what the captains do with that. Andrew Cook, Jumbo's doing a good job blitzing him. Auslander gets absolutely leveled, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone gets tossed for that hit. That was very late. And then some words being exchanged. We're going to see what the final verdict is on this one. A timeout on the field taken by the referees.
Glad to see all players being able to walk away from that hit. That hit did seem fairly high, getting up to the head.
Yeah, we're going to see as the referees are going to come here. Does not seem as if Mikey Thompson is happy with whatever they told him. We'll wait to see what the referees tell us, and that's the second late hit we've seen. One aside now.
While I have a second, I would like to mention that it appears the Tufts Jumbos baseball team is up on the Brandeis Judges 26-5 in the 8th inning. So strong start to their season for sure. It's a lot more competitive game going on here at Bello.
Yeah, I think competition is the name of the game. We're going to see what the referees come tell us here. Still waiting on an official decision. I believe the ruling is there is no flag.
Yeah, I didn't see a flag come out or any.
Gotta say, questioning that one a little bit. Seems like if it was not contact to the head, it should not be a foul. It looks like contact to the head from here, but I'm going to trust the officials. They are a lot closer than we are.
I mean, it may have been contact to the sternum, and that just looked, and with like his body whipping back, it looked like it may have been to the head, but we're a lot further away than the officials right here.
All I can say is these two teams did not come here to make friends. They came here to win. Auslander back on his feet, holding it up as the captains will look to run down this quarter, get the last look. Auslander around the screen to the X. 15 to go in the first. Andrew Cook with 10. Dodges through 2. Slide comes. Gets rid of it. 5 now. They got to get a look. Hard ride from Auslander. And did he go in the crease? No, it's a crease violation. No goal. That'll be your first quarter. Captain's unhappy.
The Jumbos lucky to walk away from that with a 2-goal lead, as hearing some shouting going on. Not sure if there's some frustration with that call. Almost 2 goals perhaps nearly taken away from the captains by crease violations.
And Mikey Thompson going to have another discussion with the referees. Both teams nearly had goals taken off the board due to crease violations, but we've seen that. The captains, that was 2 that almost got taken away, 1 that did, 1 that was a debate the referees decided to allow, but that's their style. They love that weak side feed and then have their attackman cut GLE, basically daring the defender to try and get a perfectly timed stick check without cross-checking him.
Yeah, if you can go low and try and dive towards the crease, get the ball in the net before committing the crease violation, more power to you, but not working out that time. But no shortage of bravery from the captain's attackman.
Yeah, I mean, crease violations, always such a tough call for referees. D1 lacrosse fans know it well, as there's still a debate going on about whether or not the winning goal in the national title game should have counted or not. But here in Bella, we do not have the benefit of instant replay for the referees, so the ruling on the field will stand, and we will start the second quarter at 5-3 Jumbos.
As this face-off to begin the second will be taken by Salcedo and Cabanas.
Yeah, I mean, Justin, it seems like the Jumbos have had a little bit of the edge from the face-off dot so far, as Salcedo wins that draw. That's his fourth consecutive win from the face-off circle.
Yeah, and you mentioned the Jumbos having won 7 of the 10 face-offs to begin this game, so they're getting plenty of attacking chances based on that, off of that alone.
Regneri, great spin dodge, gets 2 on him, gets around them both, gets his hands free, and scores. How did he just do that?
Regneri just, with high motor, with the will to get around his defender, dropping that stick to the negative angle, getting the shot but past the goalie, putting the Jumbos up by 3. Again, another quick start for the Jumbos. Eddinghausen scoring 15 seconds into the first quarter. Regneri now scoring 25 seconds into the second.
Yeah, I mean, the Jumbos, they're not one for slow starts. I believe, if I remember correctly, they scored the first goal in, I want to say, 18 of their 22 last year.
And it appears the Jumbos have decided that they're just going to alternate face-off takers.
I mean, when you got 2 as good as these 2, why not? Frizzoli tried to shoot it.
That ball is just going to go on the sideline side of the corner pylon. Believe that would give the possession to the captains.
I think they said it went out goal line extended, giving possession to the Jumbos. That was not how I saw it.
From my angle, I'd say I have a decent angle from the corner, but
Christmas just trying to use his strength, gets a step, gets a shot, gets a goal.
Christmas just being able to keep the ball out of reach of the defenders, being able to take that shot from a decent ways above the crossbar, not giving Hanway a great look at it, putting the Jumbos up even further.
Yeah, Kevin Christmas, just on the basis of his height and strength, can do things that just other players on this field can't. And when he gets in the alley, as the Jumbos try and set him up a couple times a night, with a head of steam, look out. Parker Merrill going to go back-to-back here, going to win it again. And right now, the Jumbos just putting on a show from the X.
We saw this so much last year. If you can just win like a string of face-offs in a row, you can put a real hurt on the opponent. As
Jumbo's going to go man up here, as I think there was a frustration foul there committed by the captains.
Looked in the vicinity of Michael Ayers, perhaps Ayers saying something, getting the captain's player a little off kilter.
Yeah, I think if I got the number right, it was Michael Brost who's going to go serve that penalty for the captains. Tagliaferri going to shoot just wide, and now the Jumbo's going to go man up. And Joey Kraft going to get his first look of the night for the Jumbos. And back into the game also is Will Emsing.
The officials calling interference there on on Michael Brost, and that'll be 30 seconds on the power play for the Jumbos.
Yeah, Jumbo's power play unit obviously very good, as they scored in about 10 seconds first time out. Got to go quickly here, 30 seconds, not a lot of time, especially against a man-down unit as good as the captains. A lot of perimeter movement here. Jumbo's going to run the hidden ball. Who has it? Eddinghausen. Regnery. Captains weren't fooled. Tagliaferri skip pass. Eddinghausen with the reverse shot.
Off the outside of the post. Lucky bounce, giving it right back to the Jumbos.
Back to even strength are the captains. Jumbos will now set up in the 6-on-6.
I will mention that hidden ball trick did work last Saturday against Connecticut.
Whoa, shot score! I believe that's Joey Kraft. And the Jumbos just putting on a target practice lesson.
Yeah, the Jumbos having no shortage of shots on goal, converting on 8 of them so far this evening, opening up what I was not expecting, a 5-goal lead less than 3 minutes into the second quarter, as looks like a timeout will be taken by Christopher Newport.
That seems like a wise decision.
Mikey Thompson wanted to talk this one over, as this game potentially in danger of getting away from the captains.
Yeah, I mean, they were up 2-1. Since then, a 7-1 run for the Jumbos. And you got to say, it hasn't been unreflective of the way possession has been dominated in this game. And I mean, I hate to repeat myself, but I'm going to go back to the draw again, because that's really where it's been won and lost so far. I mean, Justin, you have the stat right there.
I do indeed. The Jumbos 8 for 12 now from the face-off dot, doubling up on the captains. And I will mention in the turnover stat, the captains having committed 5 turnovers, the Jumbos having committed 2, and 2 of those being right by your own goal.
Yeah, and that was something I noted when I was doing prep in the pregame. The captains, the one stat in which they had a negative differential on the year, turnovers. They had committed 85 coming in, only forced 83. It was the only stat in all the team stats that they were negative. I thought it was kind of fluky, maybe a factor of the fact that they've had 3/4 of possessions in their games. But there might actually be some statistical merit to it.
Yeah, and it would indicate to me that the captains are not afraid to play fast and loose, just going all out all the time, not afraid to make the risky play. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Most of the time it's worked for them so far this year, but not against the Jumbos tonight.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing that again. The Jumbos also willing to play the risky play defensively, as they're going to chase the ball every single time, as we see here. But the captain's able to get set up, get their attackmen on the field, and will look to have a first real chance of the second quarter. Auslander. Swung to the top. Around the perimeter here. On the X, now swung all the way up top to Jackson. Just backing down his man. That pass was tipped on the ground, picked up nicely by Miller. That's Drew Miller. Face dodge by Cook, back to Miller. GLE, inside feed, and that shot was blown up there. A good look for Auslander, but the Jumbos read it. 25 to shoot for the captains. Cook. Drew Miller. Back to Cook. Under 10. They got to get a look here. Gonna have to shoot it. Pass inside. That'll be a shot clock. Oh, they get the shot off. Jumbos fell asleep. We're so certain of the shot clock violation. And the goal is given.
Yeah, just in the nick of time for the captains. I was looking frantically over at the scoreboard, seeing the shot clock tick down to 1. I wasn't sure if they were going to give that goal. Looks as obviously they did.
Yeah, Jumbo's bench wasn't sure either. They did not want the goal to be given. They thought it should have been a shot clock violation first. Nonetheless, Cody Auslander gets himself on the board, and it's 8-4.
And again, the Jumbos just alternating face-off-men, Salcedo taking that one and losing the draw.
Yeah, there's pros and cons to it. Pros, your face-off men kind of stay very fresh in terms of they don't get too rusty and they don't get too tired. The cons are, if you have someone who is hot like Parker Merrill was, taking them off the field is not always a great thing.
The captains will look to get right back on the attack, cut into this lead a little more.
Alex Brendis to the top and Auslander. Auslander, Jumbos want a ward call, not getting it. Given away. Captain's able to save it with Jackson. Panagopoulos forces him to take a wide circuit. and hand it back off. Jumbos double and then get back defensively. And that's a turnover.
And that will be, I believe, their 6th turnover on the day, as they had the chance to cut the lead to 3, but instead they'll give it right back to the Jumbos without much attacking pressure on that possession.
Yeah, that's probably going to be looked back upon as a wasted opportunity. That is a terrible giveaway. And here come the captains. Auslander with a lot of space, whips it wide, and the captains blew a fast break. There is no other way to describe that.
And they blew possession, too. As once that ball hit the ground, now the play is stopped. You got to pick it back up and restart your attacking pressure.
Jumbo's not going to waste time. Ethan O'Neill whips it to the corner, and here come the Jumbos again. Regneri looking to get a shot. Can't get his hands free. Still running. And gets called, I believe, for a ward. That'll be a turnover. Jumbo's frantically trying to substitute here, getting some of their long poles back on the field. Jumbo's coaching staff now, they're the ones complaining to the referees.
CNU, they're taking their time, getting that offense settled, getting the right players on the field.
Now they got an advantage if they can find it. Jumbo's caught out defensively, and they had a wide open cutting Robbie Adams, who had a step on his man Kai Solomon, but the captains didn't want to make the pass, risk turning it over. And maybe those turnovers are starting to weigh on their decision making. Auslander gets his hands free, gets a shot, save Garzone. Outlet pass perfectly to Solomon. Jumbo's going to run the field. Skip pass somehow saved by Eddinghausen. He whips it back but could not find, I believe he was looking for Garrett Kelly.
Just an over-aggressive play there. Would have given the Jumbos pretty good look on goal, but that pass was a little bit wide.
Yeah, and that's the sort of pass that you can make pretty easily, and I think an offside called. It was. A ward, turned over. Jumbo's running. Got space. Eddinghausen this time finds the skip pass. Shot. Save by Hamze. And the captains going to pull the Jumbos move and look to run the field with their long poles. 2-on-1. Cook. Around one. Hands free. Low shot. Bounce went past Garzone and over the top of his cage. Will stay with the captains. And after about a 10-minute span at which it seemed there was a goal every 30 seconds, it's been about 5 minutes without a goal now. Yeah, both teams still with attacking pressure, but I'd say more or less being held to the outside and further up the field when those attacking pressures are coming, and just better defense and more turnovers. Great spin dodge by Miller, and then airmails. I could not tell if that was a shot or a pass. Either way, it ended up in the corner, being fought for on the near sideline, and a violation on the captains. And then some more whistles after the fact. Jumbo's going to try and launch it. And grabbing that one is Brooks Hauser. Can use Rosario for a screen. Dump it off near side Eddinghausen. Eddinghausen. Rosario ducked, thinking Eddinghausen was going to shoot. Eddinghausen had no such intentions. You don't want to get in the way of an Eddinghausen shot, both for your team and your personal safety. Correct. Tagliaferri, stop, start. Spins back, spins left. A lot of contact. Ball pops free again. And eventually, the captains get it. Go down. Flag comes flying, and the Jumbo's going to go man down. Jumbo's a bit over-aggressive in trying to get that ball back, fighting for that ground ball, just taking down the captain's player. Yeah, the Jumbo's philosophy on that play could be best summed as, we're going after everything. Ball, man, ground, it doesn't matter. We're putting our sticks out there, and we're trying to get the ball. It's an aggressive strategy. It often works, but it is one of the reasons why they were the NESCAC leaders in penalty minutes last year.
Tagliaferri will have to take a knee on the sideline for the next 30 seconds as the captains will look to capitalize on their power play, which on the year is converted at a 34.4% clip.
Shockingly, it was not a trip. They gave him a push.
Yeah.
See how the Jumbo's man-down unit looks. They were 2 of 3 in defending. Point-blank look there for the captains, and Drew Miller's going to want that back.
Great save from Garzone, as that will likely allow the Jumbos to kill off the last 10 seconds of Tagliaferri's penalty.
It will, and now the Jumbos can look to run. Del Cristo, hands free.
Whistle came beforehand.
Offside on the Jumbos. They had 2 went over. They only had 3 back, including the goalie. And that's something you see a good amount in these transitions when you have guys coming in and out of the penalty box. You lose track of where your guys are. You think, oh, I can jump up because we have a guy in the penalty box. But Tagliaferri was out, and the Jumbos rightfully get called for too many men on the attacking half. Jackson working against Solomon. Solomon knocks the ball free. It finds the turf. Solomon comes away with it. And now he's going to run. Del Cristo shoots. Too easy, but he gets tripped up. Jumbo's man up.
Great save there from Hanaway, but the penalty being called right before the shot give the Jumbos another chance with the extra attacker.
And honestly, that might be a very tactical penalty to take for the captains, as Del Cristo would have had a point-blank look otherwise.
Yeah, there have been a few times back in my days playing soccer where you'll take the foul, you'll give up the free kick if it prevents a fast break and just dare the referee to give you a card. In this case, call the penalty.
Though, we'll see if it pays off, because this Jumbo's man-up unit is lethal, already 2 for 2 on the day.
And it will be a full minute for the Jumbos on this one.
I guess they are 1 for 2, as Joey Kraft's goal came about 10 seconds after the man had been released last time out.
Calling it the vulnerable minute.
Well, every minute's a vulnerable minute against the Jumbo's attack. Regnery, great feed. Down low, Eddinghausen dropped it, or he would have had a point-blank look. Regnery gonna shoot, gonna score!
Regnery getting the goal for the Jumbos with the extra man, putting them up 5.
Yeah, I mean, just great offense. They had a great look they set up for Eddinghausen. He wasn't able to get his hands on the ball cleanly and take advantage. Regnery's not making that mistake.
And that being Regnery's 8th goal on the season. I believe mathematically that means it's his 3rd goal of the day.
That is correct. He has 3, Eddinghausen with 2. Regnery leading all scorers on the day with 3 goals.
And they'll go back to Parker Merrill for this face-off, who will, after some fighting...
I think they're going to get a violation on the captains. Oh, and the Jumbos. And Donalfo saying that they're offside. 2-0. Alex Brendez will bring it across. Good perimeter offense here from the captains. Going to try and get into a settled one here. Miller looking for cutters. Still holding it. Now finds a cut and a goal. And the Jumbos, I mean, just, you can't get hung up with a player as talented as Drew Miller on the X. When you do, he's going to find the cutter eventually. There's only so long you can stay in front of guys as quick as the captain's attackmen are.
And now, even with the Jumbos having extended the lead, CNU seems to have bounced back. They're hanging with the Jumbos, not letting the Jumbos run away with this one.
No, this one is very much a competitive game, but with these two teams, you would expect nothing less.
I'm glad to see such a great turnout for a 6 p.m. game on a cold and Wednesday night.
Captain's coming quickly. Cook tries to get his hands free. Can't. Excuse me, that is Brendez. Solomon going to go give him some trouble. And here Andrew Cook will set up the offense for the Captains. Stop, start. Jumbo slide a double to him immediately. Here's Auslander. Against Solomon. Has the screen, uses it well. Panagopoulos slides just enough. Near side, Brendez. Forced off it by Waldbaum. The All-Americans fighting down low. Face dodge. Kevin Miller on it here for the Captains. Trying to get his hands free. Del Cristo not letting him. Now gets inside. Help comes. Jumbo's hung up a little bit. 15 to shoot for the Captains. Cook lost the ball completely. Frizzoli tipped it.
Just scoops it out of danger.
Jumbos should have numbers here. Frizzoli able to get it ahead far enough. Regneri will corral, and the Jumbos will look to go quickly.
Ettinghausen being able to plant that ball into the turf, slow it down, and grab possession.
Yeah, great job by Ettinghausen, as that was what looked to be a surefire turnover from Jack Regneri that Ettinghausen saved. Lewis Timmons tries to get his hands free, gets his hands free, and you don't give him that.
Timmons getting the goal, putting the Jumbos back up by 5.
Yeah, Lewis Timmons, just one of those midfielders the Jumbos have who not just a physical two-way threat, but if he gets his hands free anywhere past the 2/3 line, look out.
And for Timmons, that is the second goal of the season. He got one against Connecticut College last weekend, and now with another against the Captains.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just the danger this Jumbos team poses in terms of depth. As another draw one by Salcedo, fake down low. Regneri gets tripped up. Great stick check there by the Captains. And then once again, they give it away to Ettinghausen.
Desperation flail from the Captains.
Regneri dodges, skip pass. Kelly scores. And once again, a Captain's turnover leads to an easy Jumbos goal.
That being Kelly's first of the day. And that is the 8th Jumbo to score a goal today.
Yeah, I mean, it's 3 times they've turned it over, but 3 times they've turned it over to Max Ettinghausen in a point-blank chance. Like, of all the Jumbos to give it to him, maybe Regneri you would rather give it to less, but Ettinghausen's very high up on the list of players not to give the ball away to.
The Jumbos with no shortage of potent attackmen, potent attacking midfielders. Many ways to hurt you, as I just mentioned, with 8 different Jumbos scoring on the score sheet this evening.
And just as it looked, the Captains were getting back into this game, Jumbos have pushed the lead to 6, their highest of the day. Frizzoli, hands free, save at the near post.
Kenway with no problem getting a stick down to his shins, putting the stick in the way, saving that shot, getting possession back to the Captains.
Shot clock turned off here at Bello, and you got to think the Captains really need a goal before halftime.
They certainly do. It's been a pretty rough stretch.
That's not going to help. Here comes Joey Waldbaum. Pass down low. Hauser, as easy as you like.
Hauser being the 9th Jumbo to score, and that being the 3rd goal of the season for Brooks Hauser, giving the Jumbos the goal that the Captains could not afford to allow. Now a 7-goal lead for Tufts, going with just 43 seconds to go in the first half.
Yeah, and it was a 4-goal game 3 minutes ago, and the Jumbos 3 goals in 3 minutes to just drive a knife in the heart of the Captains right before halftime.
Could they get one more now?
Wouldn't put it past them.
This is how the Jumbos put opponents away, with these big streaks of goals quickly, not giving the opponent a chance to respond.
Joey Walbaum just dropped 2 attackmen. Feed down low, extra pass, and the Jumbos get 13.
As easy as you like. The Jumbos just passing the ball around, a little tic-tac goal, as we like to say. Getting another goal right before half, and I would not want to be in the halftime huddle that's about to be delivered by Mikey Thompson.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to, and I would not want to be a face-off man who has to deal with Salcedo and Parker Merrill all night.
I mean, who needs Kurt Broom when you have Salcedo and Merrill?
Yeah, Mason Cohn was great, but these two showing there has been no drop-off. That one taken away. Captains have 9 seconds to salvage something. Pass down low, deflected. Flag coming down. Jumbos will likely start the second half man down, or they'll actually go man down for a second here to end the first half, as both teams were halfway to the huddle. I would be shocked if the Captains look to do anything here. They'll likely take the 1 minute and start with the ball to start the second half. Give them something to hold on to hope. As we are all over for the first half, but the final tick.
There we go.
That will be your first half. Justin, I mean, a first half that was very even through the first quarter, and then an 8-2 second quarter in favor of the Jumbos. What really changed?
I mean, it's just, I would say the face-offs got even in more favor of the Jumbos being able to capitalize on any and all Captains' turnovers. If you look at the scoring for both teams, the goals for Christopher Newport coming from the likely suspects, 2 for Brendez, 2 for Cook, 1 for Auslander. But for the Jumbos, you got 4 for Regneri, 2 from Eddinghausen, and a goal each from Hauser, for Ben Frizzoli, Kelly, Kraft, Timmons, Emsing, and Kevin Christmas. So the Jumbos go into the halftime break up 8.
Yeah, I mean, I think that probably has been the difference so far. It's both these teams have ridiculous amounts of top-end talent, but right now the Jumbos' depth shining through. We'll see if the Captains' stars and experience can bring them back into this game in about 8 minutes. Stay tuned. Welcome back here to JumboCast and this top 5 showdown. 13-5 as we come back from halftime. Jumbos really asserted their dominance in that second quarter, and I think a lot of it had to do with taking advantage of opportunities. Justin, on the other side, there's creating opportunities. What can the captains do to create some more for themselves, get themselves back in this game?
I would say the captains need to win some face-off. They did a little better later in the second. The face-offs now standing at 12-8 for the Jumbos, where it had been 7-3. So since that point, it's been even. The captains doing a little bit better in the turnover department, ratio-wise. 13 turnovers by the captains, 9 by the Jumbos. If they can just limit those turnovers, win face-offs, and take advantage of any Jumbos turnovers, there's no reason that the captains can't put up a string of 3-4 goals in a few minutes, just as the Jumbos did near the end of the second quarter.
No, that is one of the things that you definitely have to be aware of. You look at this captain's attacking lineup as they get set to start in the attacking half, man up to start the second half. You look at guys like Alex Brendez with 178 career goals. These are guys who have been in this spot before. They know what it takes to get back in these games. And if the Jumbos slip even the slightest bit, the captains will take advantage.
And to that end, when I was doing my prep this morning, looking at the Christopher Newport roster and points leaders, I was shocked as to how many of them are grad students. Brendez, Cook, Drew Miller, Oslander, Robbie Adams, and their goaltender, Zach Hanway, all graduate students. So this is, you could make an argument that like this is the captain's last best chance with these fantastic players looking to finish off their collegiate careers, perhaps, with a national championship.
Yeah, this is absolutely the captains here. This is do or die time for them. There are certain teams where you just know you got one shot. You think of it right now with the Celtics. But this is Christopher Newport team, kind of like it. They've been together for a while. They've come really close a lot of times. This is their year to get it done.
As the captains now will have 59 seconds on the power play, down 8. They really need a goal here.
Yeah, this is, you hesitate to call it a must-score possession in the third quarter, but it's as close to that as they come in terms of momentum. Jackson swings it. Drew Miller gets it back on the X. Jumbo's caught out a little bit here. Jackson, hands free, off the top corner. That hit post and crossbar.
Fantastic low-high shot, just half an inch in the X and Y direction from being a goal.
Garzone out of his cage to collect. Aggressive ride here from the captains. You can afford to do that when you're a man up. Garzone doesn't care. He'll clear it himself.
You know, there's a well-known hockey analyst that'll say, if you're a goaltender, tend the goal. But if you can make the play to clear the ball for your team, go for it.
Yeah, and Connor Garzone, that's something he brings that not a lot of goalies really bring, is that ability to not just serve as a goaltender, but also as a distributor. As the Jumbos get into their first attacking set of the second half. Eddinghausen has Timmins setting a screen, doesn't need it. Skip pass, near side Tagliaferri. Low dodge, and good stick contact there from the captains, not allowing Tagliaferri to really get a shot away.
Yeah, that shot looking more like a change-up out of the stick of Tagliaferri as the stick of the captain's defender, putting a major damper on that one.
Hauser, hands free, wanted a shot, didn't get it. Said he'll take a loop around the net and face up. Regneri to Tagliaferri with 15 to go. Shot and score. He didn't even look like he was going to shoot. Had the goalie fooled and just lackadaisical half shot that thing into the corner.
Tagliaferri getting a good look on goal and making perhaps the unexpected play by, instead of shooting right on goal, putting it at the feet of Hanway or a bit in front of the feet, not allowing Hanway to get his stick down in time, perhaps getting it underneath the lowered stick of Hanway, putting the Jumbos up 9, and this is not the start the captains want, Riley.
Yeah, and I think that shooting it low like that is something I kind of expected more just in general today.
With the wet turf, yeah.
With the wet turf. And the captains, I mean, you mentioned it at the halftime break, but losing face-offs is not going to help as the Jumbo's going to run. Joey Walbaum leading the transition for Zoli. Again with the long stick. Again finds the back of the net.
Frizzoli with his arms held high as the Jumbos now have opened up a double-digit lead in the third quarter as he had a full head of steam, fired that shot on goal, looked towards the reigning heavens, and celebrated with his team.
Yeah, just an absolutely dominant performance right now from the Jumbos.
And this is perhaps putting the rest of Division III on notice that we may have lost Swank, Boyden, Brune, and Cone, but we are still an amazing team.
Yeah, absolutely. This team had built-in replacements from the start. What a spin dodge there. Still going, but he lost it in the end, did Michael Brost. As Christmas whipped around, and a goal there by Brookshauser. I gave it to Millie.
Brookshauser with the goal. Brookshauser to that being the second goal of the game, as right out of the gate for the Jumbos in these first 3 minutes, being able to put a real hurt on the captains, making this go from an 8-goal lead to an 11-goal lead, and now it being desperation time for the captains as they will look to win a face-off and do so against Parker Merrill, hoping to get some attacking possession going.
Yeah, I mean, just pure domination. And you talked about not wanting to be in the Christopher Newport huddle. I can't imagine the start of this second half has made them any happier. And whistle's blown. Unclear why.
We have fresh 80, I believe, for the captains.
Yeah, well, I think they're going to get an offside on the Jumbos. Andrew Cook, who has been shockingly quiet for a player who was talked about as a potential D3 player of the year coming into today.
Yeah, Andrew Cook with 2 goals on the game, and now 17 on the season, but being held quiet, only 2 goals. Something a bit surprising.
Especially for a player like Cook, who's not just a scorer, but a distributor.
And 12 assists also.
The Jumbos just not letting any man beat them 1v1. Little stop and start, low shot. Garzone gets all the way down to deny.
Garzone just putting his body in the way, just dropping to the right knee, putting his body in the way of the stick, as now Ayers wins the ground ball.
Yeah, Ayers put it on the ground, able to atone for his mistake, come away with it. And Garzone, easy as you like, bounce past to Eddinghausen. And that's just how the Jumbos have been playing all day. Fast, loose, and confident. Hauser. Fake the pass to Eddinghausen, to the X. Ragneri gets separated. Ball, man, and the captains come away with it. And bringing it up here will be Ryan Young, as the Jumbo's going to bring a little bit more aggressive ride than we've seen in a while. Forces the lob pass, executed successfully there by the captains.
But still, the Jumbo's putting on much more defensive pressure on these clear attempts than the captains, especially to that last pass with Eddinghausen just getting the long, unobstructed pass from his teammate.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a dangerous pass that Garzone made, but he has the ability to do it, and because there are so few goalies who have that ability, the captains really weren't prepped to defend it because it's so unusual at this level. Auslander wants the 1v1 against Panagopoulos. Face dodge, down low to Miller. Jumbo's hung up. Cook cuts in, forced off it. Excuse me, Cook up top.
Now only 15 to shoot.
Jumbo's going to double him. Skip pass, not corralled cleanly. We'll see if the Jumbos get called for anything here. It's not going to matter. Panagopoulos going to come away with it, and the Jumbos will look to clear.
That's just a great heads-up play by Ben Frizzoli not being afraid to put his body into the mixer, coming away with the ball. So now the Jumbos will look to further expand this lead with Eddinghausen.
Eddinghausen jumps right out of the way of the stick of Andrew Cook. Hauser, spin dodge. Uses O'Neal. A bit of a moving screen there. Regneri behind the net. Backing down his man. Said hands off to Garrett Kelly now. He calls an ISO. Slide comes, spins back, hands free, shot, wide.
Looks like it took a deflection there. It's from my angle, looks like it changed direction.
They say no. I think you're right. I think the deflection was off the outside of the post.
Yeah, that ball moving very quickly in a bit of a misty night. Not easy to see who that ball may have been off of.
Jumbos force another turnover, and now they got numbers. Kevin Christmas. And no matter how hard you hit him, Kevin Christmas is going to keep the ball. Regneri through two. Reverse shot. Oh, my word. He did it again.
And Regneri now getting his 5th goal of the game, matching the highs, matching his goal total from last Saturday against Connecticut College, as the Jumbos now have scored 4 times to the Captains 0 in the first 7 minutes of this third quarter. And this game, as I had mentioned, now it seems forever ago, this game has gotten away from the Captains.
Yeah, it's hard to remember, but with 3 minutes to go in the first half, this was a 9-5 game. And since then, it has been 8-0 Jumbos as part of a larger 16-3 run over the span of 2 quarters.
And when this game, and after the Eddinghausen goal to open things up, and then a fairly quick 2 goals from the Captains, I thought that perhaps the Captains might have the edge in attacking pressure. But the Jumbos just have won in all facets so far tonight.
Shatton. And now at the top here, Alex Brendez, who has been basically silent since those 2 goals in the first quarter. Miller. In that danger spot on the X. Jumbo's doing a good job slipping into the zone, not allowing any free cuts. 20 now for the Captains.
I mean, it only is the third quarter. This is not the time that the Captains want to be taken to get their attack going.
10 now. Miller going to have to create something for himself. Pass inside. Doesn't find a teammate. Captains will be able to save it. 1 on the shot clock. And that'll be a shot clock violation. And we'll see if the Jumbos look to go quickly. They do. And they got numbers. Frizzoli. Gonna shoot. And a good job there. Stepping up to that was Ryan Camerata.
But an equally good job by Regneri being in the right place to back it up.
Hauser. Stops, starts, gets it stripped, gets it back. Timmons. Gonna run for a little bit here. Spin dodge, Michigan style, gets blown up and a crease violation.
A lot of contact there in and around the crease, but that's legal in men's lacrosse.
It is, and a good idea there from Timmons. Had his defender hung up. Defender was betting on him coming around the far side. He decided to cut back near side. Problem was a really good slide there from the Captains. Forced him into the crease. Jumbo's caught out without enough pulls defensively, but the Captains, once again, not able to take advantage. Cook, through 2, hands-free shot, and Garzone says, I don't think so. As now, for the first time in what seems like all night, the Captain's going to bring a ride.
Garzone tonight with what looks to be about a 72% save percentage, allowing 5 goals on 19 shots.
That's superhuman against the sort of attacking talent that the captains have.
Yeah,
Regneri gets blown up. Ball on the turf here. Still being fought for. And the captain's going to come away with it, and they're going to look to go. Jumbos have a broken stick, but once again, no matter the advantage, the captain's not really willing to play in transition. Cook to Miller on the X as we go under 5 to go in the third quarter. Jumbo's up 17-5. Mikey Thompson, it looks like the captain's about to go man up. Mikey Thompson asking for it now, even though his team has an attacking opportunity. And a timeout called, I believe, by the captains. And go ahead, Justin.
I was going to say the captains wanting to get on the man-up opportunity as soon as possible, needing goals, needing them now.
And actually, that was my mistake. I was wrong about that. There is no man-up. Coach Thompson just wanted a timeout. Not quite sure why the official was asking.
Win most of the face-offs from here on out, is it's going to take a superhuman effort to been a pretty much lights-out performance.
Yeah, it has been a lights-out performance, and maybe looking to spark some things up is what they're about to do, and that is changing things between the. Declan McCullough coming out for the captains, and there's Bold, and then there's this, which is turning to a freshman down 12 on Bello.
And yeah, McCullough on the year, just having a few games. I'd have to assume those were games in which Christopher Newport were blowing out their opponents. Just 15 minutes in net, having allowed 3 goals and having made 2 saves. So the stats wouldn't suggest it, but the captain's looking for anything to get them going.
Yeah, I think Coach Thompson willing to spin the roulette wheel, hope he draws a green. But right now, the road back for the captains starts with their All-American attackman finally deciding to wake back up, as the Jumbos have kept them off the scoreboard for almost a full quarter.
And yeah, with the captains only having scored once this half, while the Jumbos, I don't believe the captains have scored at all this quarter.
No, they have not scored since 3:43 to go in the first half. Stack play here for the captains. Great face dodge, and there they get a goal. Will Mercado with a ridiculously good face dodge against Panagopoulos. And a great timeout by Mikey Thompson set up the play. The Jumbos were so focused on the stack, they didn't send any help to slide to go help Panagopoulos. And when Mercado got his hands free, he was able to pick out the top right corner.
And Mercado, one of the players that the captains need to get going and get back in this game, as they basically need the whole team as, well, that's the first step you need. You need to get the goals.
Yeah. First steps, goals. Second steps, winning faceoffs like they just did there. And we're standing right next to the captain's bench, and for the first time in what feels like forever, there seems to be a little bit of a spark of energy.
Yeah, Mikey Thompson not thrilled with the performance tonight, hearing a lot of dissatisfaction directed at the team, but now some congratulations being sent around the bench.
Brandes to the top, hands-free. Miller tried to pass it and turned it over, and that was not the right choice.
Yeah, that ball not really being a shot on goal, so whether or not you back it up, it doesn't really matter.
Well, I think you bring up the bigger point, which is he had a great look.
He certainly did. I thought that there must have been a player right by the goal, which is why he would have passed it off, but he had a good look. He just didn't take it.
Del Cristo has a good look, and it's blocked over the top. Great goaltending there. Skip pass, Eddinghausen. Back to Del Cristo. So that was the best save, I think, of the night by Hamway. whipped across. Oh, excuse me, that's Declan McCullough with his first save of the night. And I guess proving Mikey Thompson right once again.
As McCullough now will get himself involved in the clear attempt for the captains.
And almost turned it over there. Jumbo's sensing opportunity, gonna bring an aggressive ride. McCullough, easy as you like, finds Drew Miller. Captain's bench loving it. And the captains with some sustained possession for what feels like the first time since that 2-goal run in the first quarter.
And yeah, the captains have offensive potential as the wet bellow turf makes itself known.
And Michael Ayers does All-American things, gets his stick in the way, and now will look to run. Dumps it off. Ettinghausen sets a beautiful screen. Skip pass near side Brookshauser. Inside, Del Cristo gets a shot, and another save by McCullough. Hauser coming in hard. Gonna shoot. That one blocked. Gets it back. Rigneri. Jumbo's making some substitutions here. Tagliaferri. Rigneri swings it near side Brookshauser. Great feed down low. That one's on the turf. Still being fought for, and eventually the captains come away with it. And they're going to look to run, but they can't because they can't come up with the ball cleanly. We'll go under 1 minute to go in the third here on Bello. Jumbo's still up by 11. As Cook gets the pass off, but has to take the hit from Tagliaferri, as he had definitely not forgotten that first quarter hit.
Yeah, the Jumbo's getting back into their physical presence, hoping to make that work for them.
Stop and start here by Brandes. Jumbo's hung up all over the place right now. Cook, or excuse me, Ostlander. Now Cook. Brandes to the top. Jackson couldn't get it cleanly. On the turf, picked up here. Great feed. Miller gets his hands free just over the bar. Will stay with the captains. Shot clock turned off. 8 to go on the game clock here. Cook, spin dodge. Feed inside. Deflected. That'll be your quarter. And we go to the fourth. 17-6 Jumbos.
Yeah, and while the captains were unable to score on that last possession, it looks like that timeout from Mikey Thompson is exactly what the captains needed. They got a goal back, but it's just the momentum since that timeout looks to have flipped a little bit. The captains having no problem clearing the ball out of their zone, getting sustained attacking pressure, and they will certainly hope to continue that into the fourth quarter.
Yeah, we will take a short break. When we come back, the captains, one of the only teams in America who have the ability to score 11 goals in a quarter, will have to try and do it. Stay tuned. Welcome back here to rainy Medford, Massachusetts. 17-6, the score. Smiles on the faces of all the Jumbos. Up 11 against the fourth-ranked Christopher Newport captains. The captains who are on spring break and Maybe wishing they went to Florida.
Perhaps Florida, known for its warm rain. Medford, Massachusetts, and Bellow in particular, known for its not-so-warm rain.
Yeah, also known for very difficult games to be played, as no team has won a game on Bellow Field since the Union College Dutchmen in April of 2022. Incidentally, the Dutchmen will be the first team the Jumbos see after spring break here on Bellow. They'll face off against them. In between then and now, matchups against Stevens and the second-ranked team in the country, RIT, Beacon. Yeah,
the Jumbos crafting a very challenging schedule. We thought that maybe maybe that schedule would deliver some losses for the Jumbos. But the Jumbos showing that we can hang with the teams that are ranked in the top 5, no problem. We can go out and put up on a performance like this.
Yeah, a statement performance is a nice dive and a goal put away there by the captains, cutting it back to 10. And the first consecutive goals for the captains since
2-0, I believe, or 2-1,
2-1, yeah. Nice finish there. The first of the day from Robbie Adams. Or excuse me, they gave it to Andrew Cook. Robbie Adams came off celebrating it. We'll see if they change that later or not. Parker Merrill back on the dot. And just when the Jumbos were starting to lose a little momentum, Parker Merrill, easy as you like, wins the draw. He might have a look here. Through 2, shoots just over the bar.
Good, and that being the third goal of the day for Andrew Cook, one of the players we highlighted in the Open, the graduate student with 15 goals coming into this, now 18 on the season.
For Zoli. To the X. Up top. Hauser. Lewis Timmons. Eddinghausen. Kraft shot. Great save, McCullough.
Looks to have been off the face mask of McCullough, but you'll save it any way you can.
Jumbo's going to take their sweet time with a fresh 60 in a game they lead by 10. Eddinghausen and Hauser playing a little pitch and catch. Here's Bo Keogh. His first look of the day. Hauser. Now Eddinghausen with 30 on the shot clock. Whips it to the X. For Zoli. And taken off him by the captains. And that ball's on the ground. And Keogh's going to corral it and then lose it. And a real good defensive possession there from the captains.
Yeah, the Jumbos a chance to get an extended attacking possession, take some more time off the clock, but when they had their chance just off the stick, given back to the captains.
Captains starting to find their groove again a little bit here. But the Jumbos just making them work for so much as Andrew Cook comes to collect at the midfield circle here. Pass inside, could not find a teammate.
If that pass connects, that's a goal.
100% agree. It was a great backdoor cut from Drew Miller from the X to the weak side. Great idea from Cook, just couldn't execute. O'Neal, great feed. Keogh, stops, starts. Shot from distance, snipe. How do you do from Ben Clark?
And that's what having an LSM at the top of the attacking structure can do. If you give him that much space, he can just wind up the 6-foot pole and fire a shot on target. Very little time, no time for McCullough to react as the Jumbos go back up by 11.
And talk about instant impact. Ben Clark, first shift of the evening, gets the ball and has the wiseness and the patience to say, I'm not going to overdo this. I'm going to bounce it off the soggy turf, knowing the wet ground will keep it down.
And yeah, the shots from in close are certainly exciting, but to me, the most exciting play in lacrosse is what just happened when an LSM winds up from the top of the arc and fires on goal.
Jumbos win that on the sideline, much to the chagrin of the captains, and I think they're going to change the call. Something's
I think it
coming
might be
on.
a shot clock reset. 60 seconds, I think, not 80.
Yeah, that's 67. They're going to reset the shot clock to 67 where it was at, because it should not have been a fresh 80.
So the officials ruling no possession for the captains as the Jumbos will have to.
This means the Jumbos now have 5 seconds to get it over.
That's a good point. And they'll.
Michael Ayer's never worried about that. Ben Frisoli, face dodge with the long pole, forgot the ball. And the captain's going back with it. Frisoli says, I don't think so. And as smart as you like, lets it run out of bounds.
Yeah, right in front of us. Just fantastic awareness by Ben Frisoli, letting the ball go out. And a great stick check, just cleanly knocking the ball out.
Del Cristo, with about 20 yards to run into, will just drop it off for Brooks Hauser. And I believe a timeout called by Dinolfo. And we'll see if that leads to a wholesale line change here. We'll take a short break. When we come back, the end of this one, live from Bello. Welcome back here to Justin. It seemed for a while like this one might not have been over. The captains were starting to get some momentum, and then...
Yeah, the captains playing noticeably better since Coach Thompson's timeout, with the Jumbos being able to likewise step up their game, play solid defense, and prevent the captains from eating into their lead.
Jumbos did make some significant changes we'll tell you about as the players get involved in the play. Emsing gets inside, great feed, shot, great shot there on target from Max Melton, and McCullough making me question why he wasn't starting from the beginning.
Yeah, it seems like Coach Thompson making the right move, but perhaps just couple quarters too late, as McCullough has definitely stepped up the goaltending performance for the captains.
800 save percentage right now for McCullough. And once again, Jumbo's just not letting these captains attackmen get their hands free at any point. Auslander takes a jog, and that's going to be a cross check, as going into the box will be Jordan Ito, the freshman.
Yeah, the captains will look to capitalize on the man-up opportunity. So far, not done a great job capitalizing.
They're going to get him for interference. And Ito, I don't know how much he really knew about that. That was a wise move there by the veteran attackman, knowing Ito was in a vulnerable spot where he either had to allow an easy cut to the goal or commit the penalty, and Ito commits the infraction.
Yeah, and the captain's 0 for 2 so far today on the power play. We'll look to capitalize here.
Moving around the perimeter, rapid fire here. Jackson thought about it. Cook now, inside out feed. Mercy, what a pass, but not able to finish on the doorstep were the captains.
And that's a play that you just can't make as the penalty will expire with only one shot.
And now they're caught out. Frizzoli's going. He's going hard. Great extra pass. Double comes. Low shot. Another save, McCullough. And a lot of whistles coming. Don't know what the call was.
There's a CNU player on the ground, so I'd be inclined to believe it's going against the Jumbos, as it will.
I think they're going to get a trip on the Jumbos, so I believe the Jumbos are going to go man down again. We'll see, though.
This one will be a full minute.
Yeah, it's going to go on Ben Verzoli, who did a great job in transition there, then fought for the loose ball. And with those long poles, you put your stick just a little too far, it's very easy to get a trip call. See if the captains can finally get themselves a man-up goal here. Brandes. Drew Miller. Space here for Cook. Low shot, Jackson. Wide. Garzone able to collect it. And the Jumbos will likely just see out the remainder of this man down. Not able to clear it cleanly. Keogh gets whacked down, gets up, and he'll clear it successfully himself. And now the Jumbos might look to go man down. Melton.
Penalty now expired for Ben Frizzoli.
Here is Jackson Red with it, getting his first action of the night. Red, the southpaw. Going to attack, gets a step here on Cook. Couldn't get the angle to get his hands free. Will dump it off Callum Wood. Near side Emsing.
Max Melton calling a play.
15 to shoot. Emsing, face dodge. Great feedback door. What a save by McCullough.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if McCullough is the start. I wouldn't be shocked if McCullough is the starting goaltender going forward here.
I believe that is 7 saves for McCullough.
McCullough has been lights out, and that's what the captains needed.
And you really have to wonder at this point what the score would be if McCullough had started this second half.
I would guess maybe about 13-7.
Be a much, much closer game, I'd be willing to bet. Of course, the captains still facing the problem that they have scored 2 goals in the last 27 minutes. Jumbo's still out there chasing every pass. Oslander and Cook. Nice face dodge. Shot from distance by Jackson wide. Backed up by the captains. 17 to shoot. Feed down low. Picked up by Ethan O'Neill.
And that's just the nature of having sticks in the way. Good stick position by the Jumbo's defense. Able to turn that ball over as Ayers makes a successful clear.
And gives it away a little bit. Keogh, though, puts his body in the way. Able to control possession for a moment. Then force a terrible pass. Jumbos have a 2-man advantage here in the counter. Skip pass, extra pass, low, high, wide there from Max Melton, and he's going to want that chance back. And another timeout by Christopher Newport, and I think, if I had to guess, this one will be to call off the Dogs.
Yeah, the captains with a valiant effort after about 5 minutes left in the third quarter, but the Jumbos able to say, we can step up our game too, not allowing CNU back into this game, as now with 5 minutes left, I would say it's pretty much out of reach.
I think that's a fair assessment, and I think we knew a lot about these teams' attacking abilities going into this game, and I think the message coming out of this game is that this Jumbo's team might be significantly better defensively than previous year's teams.
Yeah, the Jumbos winning a lot of their games last year by just winning the track meets, but when you can hold the number 4 team in the country to 7 goals through 55 minutes, I mean, that's a recipe for success.
Yeah, I mean, I want to look at and highlight Connor Garzone because he's just been sensational tonight. A 500 save percentage against a team as good as these ones. But more importantly, you look at it, his job gets a lot easier. He's only seen 14 shots on goal. On the other side, for the captains, they've seen 30. If you get outshot 2-1, you're going to lose lacrosse games. It's that simple.
And yeah, Hanway not having a bad save percentage per se, but just the volume of shots being given up by the captains, too much to overcome.
Good stick check there by the captains, as they'll look to transition here with a second unit on the field. Great dodge through 3, scoring, and some contact. That one put in by Alex Brendes, who said, I don't care, I want to stay in this game.
Yeah, and Christopher Newport not willing to give up quite yet. They're going to fight to the bitter end.
And the Jumbo's going to go man down as well. As I believe they might go 2 men down here. No, they're going to go 1 man down. 1 was wiped off. There were 2 slashes on the play. And so Christopher Newport will be a man up here, but because of the goal, they will not immediately get possession.
It looks like the new face-off taker for the Jumbos will be Eric Helgeson.
Yeah, I mean, you look at someone like Helgeson, and most teams in D3, he would be their first-string face-off man. He was .534 from the dot last year, and he's the Jumbo's number 3 Fogo.
As the Jumbos now a man down, will play with the ball, just taking their sweet time, trying to see out this game.
Yeah, they're not going to even think about shooting it until they get back to full strength. Joey Kraft, great stick check defensively. And here come the captains. Nargone. Low to high, and that is what they can do in transition. Brett Jackson gets himself on the board.
Yeah, the transition goal with the man up. You're gonna have overwhelming numbers in the attacking zone. Finding a unguarded player able to shoot from close range, no one in the way. No surprise to see that ball put in the back of the net.
And Jumbo is back to full strength. Captains back to a single-digit game with 4 minutes to go.
As the Jumbos will give Helgeson some more opportunities.
That's not the opportunity I'm noticing, and the opportunity I'm noticing is Ben Friedman has gone in net. Connor Garzone's day is done. A good performance from the senior. And Eric Helgeson just put the other Fogo in the weight room.
And one of my takeaways from this game is that the Jumbos have no shortage of depth players. Even if their top few players aren't having a great day, they've got just so many potent attacking weapons that they can score with anyone.
Low, high shot there. And another save by McCullough. Ooh, I've got to check his save percentage. His save percentage is .875 right now.
I mean, that would be defendable if even that was a hockey goaltender, but for lacrosse, that's just unheard of.
If that was a full games performance, he would be almost a shoo-in to win a Player of the Week award. And you really have to wonder if Hanoa is wondering how safe his starting job is right now. As the Jumbos once again getting a little too ambitious, as for all their attacking talent they have had tonight, they have shown one glaring problem, and that is discipline.
Yeah, I mentioned earlier the captains are not afraid to play fast and loose when it comes to turnovers, but the Jumbo is a bit not afraid to play fast and loose in these situations, even when it comes to fouls. I mean, they've committed plenty of fouls, giving Christopher Newport extended attacking time, but they're still up by 9, so.
Yeah, without question there, as a nice dodge by Cook, but can't get his hands free and could not find Brett Jackson.
And that'll be the 23rd turnover of the day for the captains.
Yikes.
Just 16 for the Jumbos, so +7 turnover differential.
And for a team that's ranked 4th in the country, to be -9 on the season in turnovers is kind of shocking. Little stop and go there. Swung back, high shot off the corner by Callum Wood. The Jumbos behind the play, subbing out their entire defense. Spinning through 2, shooting and scoring. Mercy. Oh, wow. They're going to call that a crease violation.
As we will tick under 2 minutes to go here in what has been a impressive Jumbo performance from start to finish. You could call it a blowout if you'd like. The Jumbos right now doubling up on the captains on the score sheet.
Yeah, I mean, what's crazy is you think about the fact of the matter is the captains started this game with a 2-1 lead. And then, since it was 16-5, it's been a 4-2 captains game. In between that, it was a 16-3 Jumbos run as the captains get another put in and then another late hit. That one gonna count for Alex Brendez. Captains get themselves into double digits. And they are definitely making this one closer on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, that being the 4th goal of the day for Brendez. So he's had himself a decent night. The rest of the team, not so great with the scoring.
Captains finally figuring out the secret to unlocking this Jumbo's team.
Winning faceoffs?
Problem is they figured it out in minute 60. As we hit the 1 minute to go mark on Bello. Little pitch and catch play, and another shot, and another point-blank save by Friedman. And then he gets that one. Might have been going wide. He wasn't taking any chances.
Yeah, and Freeman will just grab possession for the Jumbos. Shot clock not a factor now. The Jumbos look to see out the final 45 seconds.
But that is a factor. Another turnover. Free look, and then absolutely airmailing that shot was A.J. Rosacker. .30 seconds to go here. Captains still bringing out their stars. Andrew Cook wants one more. Spin dodge. He goes down on the wet turf. Skips it to Jackson, who whips one over the top of the cage.
That ball bounced off the fence and into the residential neighborhood behind us.
Yeah. Jumbo's bench making some noise. That ball knocked free. Friedman will just chuck it up, and that will be it. Final score here from Medford. Jumbo's 18 and the Captains 10. A dominant performance where the Jumbos really were not in question of winning this game from about halfway through the second quarter on. Justin, your closing takeaways.
I mean, this was called the game of the day in the lacrosse world. The Jumbos with an impressive, emphatic victory, showing that this number 4 team in Christopher Newport thoroughly being outplayed today by the number 3 team for now. We'll see how high the Jumbos can rise in their rankings after this one. The Jumbos with just a dominant victory from start to finish, playing well in all facets of the game.
Yeah, and talking about dominant performances, got to mention what happened over in Cambridge. Tufts Women's Lacrosse took on the number 21 ranked Engineers, won 21-6. They'll be back here on JumboCast Saturday at noon against the Trinity College Bantams. Also at noon, Tufts baseball returns for a doubleheader against Eastern Nazarene. Before we say goodbye, I'd like to thank the other members of our crew for sticking it out with us here on Bello on a freezing, raining night. Zachary Miller up in the tower doing phenomenal camera work as always. Sophia Khan behind the scenes. Alongside me has been Justin Loker. I've been Riley Daniel. You've been watching JumboCast, and as always, stay home safely.